Hey, I figured since everybody's streaming, I'll stream too. Just have a whole bunch of streams in my life. I'm gonna be kind of quiet today and just getting through some inks, messing up stuff. Caught some really major things that I messed up on. I need to fix. But other than that, I'll just try to do the best I can. Listen to Omar's live stream as well. Here. Crap. Just looks goofy. Which way did I have it yesterday? Oh yeah, it's down. I had it going up. I really need to learn to draw clothing better, like how things move in hands and all kinds of stuff. Jeez, just looks awful. Yeah, that's the edge. I can't remember where I was last night. I had this panel inked pretty much, and then I'm just touching up with the pen over on top of the nib here. Some of those dead lines that kind of are astray. His teeth look messed up. I wonder. Okay, this is screwed up. Whatever. There's my mixture of ink that I use, which is Higgins Black Magic and Higgins Calligraphy mixed together because I don't like how Higgins Black Magic looks anymore. It changed formulas, I guess. Okay. I have two computers and they're all both on different live streams as well, which is kind of funny. Um, I was watching Poly Audio over there, thinking. Too early for somebody. Maybe finish with this page though, which would be nice. And then get the zip toning tomorrow. Woo! Crap. I am gonna have to buy some more Zipatone pretty soon. I think I only have 4 sets left, and I've gotten a little bit more advanced with it, not as much as I like, but, I use, like, the darkest sheet quite a bit, so each set kind of runs out of that really quick. I gotta plan for these panels here, so I'll eat up the whole sheet again, and the lighter colors, I don't use as much anymore, which is kinda strange. Yeah, that's a good thing when I not good thing, when I draw, like, I like to spin the page quite a bit, and ink, probably out of focus half the time. This is jacked up here. There's a little deaf head back here. She's all mad at this guy. Yeah, it works. Whew. Love holding my breath sometimes, it's kinda funny. Um, it's going a little I thought I also started printing my blue lines out because when I was doing it at 20%, I see when I printed them out, I couldn't see the lines very well anymore. So I basically had to re-pencil on top of the pages, which made no sense. I still have the pencil on top of the pages because I'll catch things like, especially like this. Her arms are out here versus inwards, like she's um, crossing her arms. And I love that when in the final inking phase that you catch little mistakes all the time. It also sucks that you're doing stuff all the time as well. And my necks are super long for some reason. I've been messing with um, Grok AI quite a bit. Last weekend, when I was thinking about making a trailer for Tommy, and I think I might have mentioned this before, but I was looking for free resources online using the Internet Archive to find footage from the 70s of butcher shops and meat cutting and stuff like that. I found one that was really, really good. But then there's all these cut scenes that I needed from this little kind of intro story that I was created, which you can see on my YouTube channel. I don't know if it's listed. Let me find it real quick. But what I did was I ended up realizing that I needed a bunch of cutscenes, and I've seen a bunch of guys on X making their art animated. But I was like, hey, let me see if I can try to make a fake movie. And I kept prompting the AI to create these scenes that I had plotted this first issue. And it blew me away of how good it is, how well X or the AI actually is now. It's kind of scary. But I realized afterwards, a lot of these scenes I could have used AI to kind of help me figure out the setting better, like maybe some of the background elements, because this is a boring background. These don't have any background, just because it's a lot of dialogue in these. But could it also help with some of the posing and stuff, like as a reference instead of just trying to draw it in my head? I think a lot of this issue, you can tell that I used it. I take a photo of myself to like reference this area, um, especially the hand, because I suck at hands. But using a tool like to get reference without tracing it is like I can see that really being handy in crafting quite a bit of really good things. And the only thing I can't figure out is, let's say if I created a building and I wanted to use that building over at different angles and different positions, or if I wanted to use inside of the store over and over at different angles, how would I build that and save that? 'Cause I don't know 3D. Um, I wish I knew Blender, but I don't. But going back to Grok, creating that trailer really made me think about using it as a tool to help me figure out better ways to do the art, even though I know that's something hate AI, but I can see it being super useful. Uh, Still a little bit on the fence with that, but I do enjoy it. It looks really good. in years, we're gonna be screwed. Really cheapest. It's wild. I was messing with it today at lunch too, and I basically took like some of the first pages that I had created in this book and just kind of rewrote the prompts for to see how it would handle it. And it's shocking. Made me want to make like a little AI film, a total AI film with this whole issue. But like I said, I can't figure out how to uh, keep the prompts, keep the figures the way I want them. Like little glitches it does, like the girl socks will have two stripes versus three stripes or things like that. But I also put ChatGTP against Grok. Grok is a killer against um, ChatGTP as far as image creation. I've noticed. I wonder if you did like a schematic or a full layout of a building or interior of a building, and you gave like an AI system. I'm not sure what would work, but if you asked it to create a 3D asset for you, that could work as well. Make rooms or buildings. When I was first working on this issue, I bought this little car. This is what the FBI agent drives. This is a police car, but the 70s model of what is this, a Ford LTD or something? But I was like turning at angles so I can like draw this, figuring that out. And like top of angle pulling into this shop here. Stuff like that. I was looking for one of the old trucks, but I'm not gonna spend $50 on a damn model truck sitting on my desk. Got enough crap on my desk anyway. And since it's getting slow again at work, because the holidays are coming up, people are starting to take off and shit. Trying to ramp up like my production of stuff I can use myself for this book or um, for Saboteur itself. Like little fun animations to use in the backgrounds and crap I can make with After Effects. The big problem I have is like drawing all day or trying to draw all night. Um, I don't really play with After Effects much at work anymore. It's too time consuming. So my skills in After Effects have really dropped. And I need to be able to play with it to keep keep the memory cells alive in your head. I do have a basic cheat sheet right next to me that I use for all the key commands, my major key commands that I use. And that's my go-to thing. It's I realized I forgot. So I keep my muscle memory up. And when I was trying to do the rebrand over the last couple days, it's been longer than a couple days. It's been a while. I was trying to figure out between a bat or a cat, and I think a cat fits better with the kind of like the saboteur motif because the cat seems to be more mischievous than the bat, but the bat operates at night, so I'm not sure. So it's in between those 2, and the reason I changed the little icon logo thing is because the purple guys are using the eyeball, and I don't wanna, compete with them since they're doing a fantastic job. I wouldn't say compete, I don't wanna confuse people if they see, 2 eyeballs popping up and they're not sure, they're not familiar with the company. So I changed it. I was really happy with the little cat I made, so I animated it today, where he's blinking, so I can use that as, like, an outro for videos and stuff. I mean, now I gotta come up with more stuff to make since I'm starting to have more time again. I work at in the evening, on evening pages. Stuff too. We gotta find that, trailer real quick. I'll put it in here. Well, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to see it since I don't think I have it listed. It's pretty cool though. I would say it's kinda cool. It took like 3 days to make because I had to keep prompting a free account. I had to keep prompting the thing, the run credits in this sucker. I'm not sure if the messages reply, do they? I'm not sure. Oh, did I stick my hand in that? Damn it. God damn it. Next time I'm not doing everything on nib ink and um, Zipacones again. It sure takes too long. But I don't know how many issues I can run with Tommy's. Um, I still need a plot issue too. Kind of have a plot, not really. I don't know how or what's gonna happen next, especially with her, this FBI chick, and some of the other supporting characters inside the book. I think that, from what I remember, I need to start writing this shit down. From what I remember is that she's going to go on the hunt to figure out what happened to these 2 chicks in this book, and, so she's searching everywhere, just thinking they're drunk and became too drunk, too hot. She kind of thinks that she's on a wild goose chase, and she uncovers that along this stretch of highway that leads to this town. The town is like I don't want to say like a resort. It's more like it has the caverns in this town, and caverns have like a little lazy river that pops out in the bottom of the caverns. And there's a college town that's close by. Well, not really. Many of the town folks that come as college kids go to this little cavern area to party. And sometimes one or two don't make it out because they get drunk and high and uh, end up drowning. So locals don't really consider it a thing. People go missing. But what ends up happening is like it takes some elements from the story. I think it's like the killing fields that are so big and way. It's just that all these like girls gone missing, and I took that kind of thought process and element and hid it behind this big town called Boulder Creek. The story takes place in, and I just lost my train of thought. Hid it behind the why the the people might be going missing, and she discovers that there's more than um, these two girls missing. It's like maybe fit up to 50, and they all fit into a category or like a what do you call that? Why I shouldn't be streaming after work. My brain's all just fried. Um, Profile. So all the girls that go missing fit this profile, and this is before the term serial killer was really used. It was just starting to be used. So they don't really necessarily consider this a serial killer yet. So this kind of like bullshit mission that she thought she was on turns into something really big. That's the basic plot. Um, so I think that's what issue two was supposed to lead up to, around that basic plot. And um, when you look at the first issue, you'll see above Tommy's there is a missing persons billboard, and I think issue two will revolve around that person. Yeah, and kind of get more lead into some of the other stuff that'll happen down the road. Those other 50 people or whatnot. Yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of cool. I think too when I looked it up, I think there is an actual Bitter Creek, New Mexico, which is kind of funny. I was trying to make up a fake, town, all that stuff. All right, I'm gonna try something different. I can start using the and pretty good. This is going to be pools here. I'm listening to Omar too on his channel. Does that work? Okay. I think here. Little area I forgot to do. Okay. All right. Holy crap. I just got freaking so tired. I just had that super wave that hit me. It's only 5:32. Jesus Christ. Now that winter's setting in here, totally sucks. You know, like just tired as soon as I get up for doing anything. I'm sure a lot of people do too. Like, sitting here doing this is such a pain. But every morning when I wake up, I'm like excited to see the page and working on it at night. But then I get so tired. Probably sounds stupid as shit too when I'm talking at night. Brain fog. I'm not actually this one. Every now and then I catch a whiff of it. Okay. Oh God. I just like kink in my neck. I want to try to pop. But I can't get to it. I was really scared that I had, erased too much of the dialogue, so I couldn't figure out some of the dialogue I was doing, but luckily, where the hell did it go? Where is it? Oh, but luckily, this page 23, luckily, I did a bunch of the dialogue here, all my misspellings and stuff. You see how fast I was writing through this to get through it? But some of these, panels are better than what I have now, and I wish I'd stuck with this type of panel, versus this one. Did start changing some of these other ones, like he's changed too. 1, 2, oh man, 3 more pages. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 actual story pages left. Oh, that's kinda exciting. Here is the sketches I was working on. I had a bunch of other ones I had tossed. This is the logo that I was playing with, and at first it was for Batman. A lot of the other ones, I thought it was kinda cool. So then I started sharpening the edges and made them fatter. You see I was gonna add whiskers popping out of the frame, but since a lot of the social media applications put everything in a circle, I decided to put them in a circle, popping out. So after that, I threw it into Adobe Illustrator, made it a nice little vector, and made it a vector and threw it into After Effects. Tracing, huh? I think what's gonna be weird too is I haven't drawn anything really outside of this in quite a while now, so it feels like I don't know how to draw stuff. It's gonna be interesting trying to do something different. Also wanna, I might redo one pinup I have, which will be part of this book, but it's a different comic. Kinda doing that. I think I've said this before, but kinda doing that preview of other books, kind of like how the old Image Comics used to do where, any indie book. The Image Comics is a good example when it first started because the creators would always be thinking of new ideas, and, there's a little preview of the character or team or whatever. But the way I drew this chick, it's kinda funny, so, it's not dynamic enough for me. Again, I might leave it. I may leave it and maybe do a different one some other time, just to move on to the next issue of Tommy's. Um, you see, I'm still kind of figuring out how this things fold out and stuff, so that it's always changing from panel to panel, which kind of sucks, but um, it's my learning curve, I guess. Okay. Let me go add some hearts over here. I think I'm pretty much I can just clean up some lines with the pen. This is the end of this, and then the arm goes in here, and this can be maybe. I accept that audio. Hello, hello. Okay, the mic is working. This is my touch up. My touch up pen. So the panel, the reason why she's making this kind of grimace face, um, panel above, and she's come to Tommy's to ask if they remember these two girls that were in town. And Tommy here is letting her know that I think his name is Harold. Harold over here, the old pervert of the book. And so he's just full of little perverted things all the time. And so this little grimace, like, I don't know if that's right. Looks like kinda off, doesn't it? Whatever. Um, I hope that it's kinda like there should be like a thought bubble like, "Hmm, okay." Poof. That's what you say. This is the actual dialogue. Okay, it's a little bun. Being so tired sometimes working on these pages, overnight. I always forget to hit dark hair or needed to start making character sheets. Also, another problem with this book was when I started making it, I didn't make any character sheets. I only made a character sheet for Tommy. I was like, the reason I didn't do that was because I thought it would only be 6 pages, so it'd be easy as hell to remember what everybody was doing or what they look like. And then, it kept evolving, of course. Also, working on something from the '70s, it's like I know that their collars should be big or bigger. And then one of the big problems about this whole intro book was that I didn't have a story. I was just kind of thinking of something fun to draw and didn't consider the time frame or timeline or anything. Another reason I went back in time is because they didn't have technology that we have now back then. Because it would make no sense if you were like a serial killer now or a mass murderer in some small town or whatever. Or if there was one, it wouldn't make sense to you would need to be moving around, but then you'd be like detected right away. It seems a lot harder to talk about versus the '70s where they didn't really have the tech, you know. It just sounded easier to um, talk about in this timeline. And being a fan of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and um, Hills Have Eyes and all those movies from the '70s. Spit in Your Grave. After the first 6 pages, I was like, oh shit, I should have based it in the '70s. And so that's what ended up happening. And that joke was backwards. This should be like a little cup here for her white sleeve. And it comes out. And this is the suit. Her breast line is the black part. Okay. Oh, I actually might be able to do some zip-a-tones tonight. I'm moving along pretty well on these pages. Since there's not really any. I'm gonna ask Elmer what he thought his. Oh, let's go. That's better. I don't remember if her hair started. Yeah, let me go grab a page. I guess not, but this should black here, black here. So let's do that. I cannot stand spam. So I use this parallel. Mess with Elmer. Maybe sure. Yeah, okay. So I can block it out. Um, Going back to what I was saying, I use the parallel pen for some of the backgrounds in the walls because it adds this texture. Um, Kind of do it like this, like it makes the wall scratchy. And so when I bring these pages into Photoshop, when I scan them, I can drop out some of the background and add like those add some of those like like in the old shops and all old buildings you'll see in small towns that have like a paint that's still kind of on the wall and it says like USDA grade beef. It's kind of worn out, but the texture to it. At least it dries and it has those little etchings. Like that's perfect to add some overlay graphics on top. What I'm also gonna do is when I do some lettering, I will I'll do the lettering like this right here. I'll boil, boil, boil. I'll have that overlaid here that I'll scan on a separate piece of paper that I'll do with this pen and create like a real hand filling to it for the letters. Then the other letters, I might do that over the weekend, work on my own font over the weekend so that it has the done feel to it all. And let's make sure this says the same thing here. Say sorry. One of the timers. I do like the fact that I didn't write this down and it kind of has changed and evolved over time. I really wish that this didn't run out so quick. I run out time so quick. Actually, I can probably go in and black it out here. Try to do the majority of stuff. So he's got it. Let's go to the angle. Two, two. Okay. Here, this will be black here. And this is like a cheap move, of course. Get that black in there. Cheap move. You can see the difference from here to here. Brush is nice, but I'm trying to get that like really crappy look to it. Let me do some refill. Let's see. I need a. Where's the ink? Really? Ah, God, I'm so dangerous with this shit. I think too that I can't since I can't see. Should do. Should put another. This one's gold. I can't see it. This one it's too black inside. What is this? 6. I'm gonna take this one off. Yeah, see this one. Actually, probably needs a nightly. Sometimes it's just too much of a pain in the ass. I can see. See, there's that little lever right there. Trying to pass slow. Okay. Let's get this back on. Now, make sure I got this bolted up. And now I can make some nasty lines. It's not textured wall. Okay, that works. Like adding, I'm starting like the blacker versions of what I'm doing on these pages versus some of the earlier pages. I wish I had got more into the look and style of how this book is going to look versus just going straight into it. It probably would have helped the overall atmosphere and kind of the character direction. Some of the things or techniques that I've kept is like adding this type of stuff for the walls, and I quit doing the crunchy whiteout effect because I'm adding full sheets of Zipatone now, so I can't add any of that whiteout over the over some of these panels because it won't stick as well. And I'm going to fix him later. Okay, let's do some fun pages, some fun stuff. And for these smaller areas, I'll just come in and fix it with, write it with just the little microns. I do like that the majority of the panels are done with the nib pen. Gives it that crunchy look to it. And of course, that texture fill that I love on these pages. And I just touched that. I don't know why I forgot to do these damn border lines last night. That's very smart. And oops. Yeah, I will be able to zip it to on this guy tonight. Made damn good progress. This I fucked up last night big time. There's kind of white out here. I had the folds going up this way versus down because if this is the jacket, it would be down. This I'm dumb sometimes. This looks good. And I really hope that like when I get to the printing phase of this book, that, it looks the way I'm kind of planning in my head. I don't think I did the zips on the earlier pages. Oh, I did. Can't really tell though. A little bit. Oh, this is what I was talking about earlier. I like re-described the scene when they pull up into Grok today to see how Grok would handle it and describe these two exactly how they are here. Um, Tried to describe this building, but it didn't really do it that well. Tried to describe them walking in here, and they did a kick-ass job. Damn shocking. Yeah, if you want to see the 6-page preview of this, before I decided to change all the dialogue, it's on my website. Just type in 0 to get it free in the little checkout area. Let me take a look at it. You will see the actual person, the villain in the book, in that because, like I said, it was supposed to only be a 6-page test for myself, but I kept going. So, story kind of revolves around that opening segment sequence, I guess, and builds upwards again. I forgot where I read it. Maybe it was Jason Pearson or somebody that told me. Not just didn't tell me personally, but I read something about there's like this book called "Its Story," I think Jason Pearson had read, and I think it's about movie plotting. And you read that before he did Body Bags, I believe. I don't know what the hell it was. It's a long time ago, but I bought that book. It's kind of interesting to read because it sounds like start with a big bang to draw somebody in instantly instead of like the curve arc of like up down up. It is up down up. Um, Curve cycle. So that's kind of how I was trying to plan the page turns as well. And so when I plotted this for 32 pages, I had that in mind where it has to go, within a certain amount of pages, it has to be a big bang. I think too that when I was looking back at how Liefeld does his stuff, I noticed that as well. The the dumb army jumps out of, or the team jumps out of a helicopter or airplane and go into a big bang sequence. I wonder if that's basically just storytelling itself, or I'm just making shit up. I don't know how rusty this looks as well. These pens are sick too. I like these a lot more than adding any type of white paint or white out. And this pen has lasted for a long time. It's gotten through almost all these pages so far. Put this around her. What is today? Wednesday? Thursday? What happened there? I think too, like when we got to these pages, I started using this model reference more to get the faces more correct and angles and stuff. I should start using it more to get the shadows as well. Because I'm just looking at the screen, I can see that there's a lot of nice cast shadow. Kind of like that. Get him fixed up. jacked up right there. I'm gonna try something different up here. When I did the Zipatone, I wanted to try something with the smoke beyond putting white out on top of the Zipatone. Now that I know how to tone it a little bit better than I did before. I think it's cool too, like when you're working on when you see the earlier pages, it looks like pages have evolved quite a bit. You start to like I started learning how to adapt the Zipatone a lot better. At first I thought it was just cutting the panels out that you needed, but it's more than that. It's looking pretty good. I also hope that some of these lines or some of this imperfections stay. So you can see those error marks. I just think it adds a little bit more. Nice separation. And now the cleanup phase. Is that off? Is that like totally off? Is that a straight line? I swear I can't tell sometimes. Damn, I was way off. I'm gonna fix these real quick. Oh shit. That's jacked again. Okay. Good enough there. Damn, that's like way off. Holy shit. This isn't this is pretty good. Yeah, do more. I am going to study more about clothing and folds and take more reference photos or use Grok to give me these types of poses to understand how, especially this stuff. This is just me going straight off my head, trying to figure it out, and it looks kind of funky to me. So I need to do a little bit of a better job and try harder. And so we fold in. She doesn't seem very angry. I need to fix that. She seems like she's just sitting there looking. God damn it. Okay. She looks better with no eyebrows and long neck. I trademark long neck, long arms, goofy looking arms, goofy hands. If I didn't use the nib pen, I'd be so much faster inking. Swear to God. Could have been done with this first issue. Doesn't look bad. That's when we're talking. You can hear that on the mic. Woo! Thought that was wet. Okay. Fold this over more. And that isn't too bad that I messed that up there. It's black anyway. And now this should be dry. Give her that angry. There you go. Not too bad. I also come in later on and add little highlights to their eyes and stuff with that little white marker I have. See, this is all screwed up here too. Jesus, how does this work? Quit guessing, doing the guesswork on this. No, I can't figure that out now. Now my eyes don't see it. Maybe like this. Put this over here. I'm also going to bring in some of my textures and effects that I've made on Saboteur Supply. I was thinking about today and put it all into comics. I bring those all over from the Saboteur Supply so that it's just all one source. I hate trying to keep up with two different sites. Um, I was going to scan up some of the leftovers of Baton that I have in sheets, and they make these little patterns and stuff that I could use, and other people could use maybe for some background elements or something, textures. I also have some new, it's not really coffee stains, like desk stains from my cups bleeding in the morning. It's like I do, and they create these swell looking things. And I've been collecting those for a while because I use paper to set up my cups in the morning. My coffee cup, iced coffee, so like it's like cold and hot. But if you want some textures and free supplies, go to saboteur.supply or look in my bio on my Instagram and you'll see Saboteur Supply. Go get some free textures. You can add them to backgrounds. It's really handy. Or you can use it as like paper overlays or paper background to draw on. Give it more of a different look. Kind of handy. I use them quite a bit actually. I use them in logos, and if you see the Saboteur Supply logo, no, it's Tommy's logo. It kind of has that meaty look to it. Those are some of the textures I used. I am also got it kind of reminds me that when I'm doing the lettering, anything that's like actual lettered like information or something, I want to go to the copy, Office Depot or something, and have it typed out to the size that's going to be, and photocopy the text so that it looks really shitty, like some of the old comic books that you could tell that they did really bad paste up work and threw it into the book. And I want that like filled to this book, like something stupid, like maybe even a dialogue box here, and it'd be like really bad pasted, paste up. I think in the original, like, I wish to show it. I don't know which box it's in. In some of the old Silver Wolf comics, they have that where they have their letter columns, and it looks like he just wrote it on his typewriter and then pasted it into the book itself. It's kind of funny. But I guess back then, when you don't have a technology, that you can make do. It probably was your technology. Instead of lettering it by hand, just like that, bang it out. It works. Trying to make everything as authentic as possible. Okay. Oh boy. I forgot to erase this too. It's one of the blue lines that I have drawn on top of this page. Oh, let's see. You see here too, I was trying to figure out if I needed to change the hand this morning to give it more different, like instead of being rolled and on paper like this. She's pointing at some meat that's in this cage because she's impressed by the selection of meat here. Um, and that's what's happening in that panel. That's nasty. I hate this panel. But whatever. Can't stop and redo everything. I think the page before I did stop and redo a panel. That's why that panel's missing. It would be like every page has a missing panel on it. Or two. I actually really did consider this morning. Think about redoing it. But it's kind of hard. Kind of trying to judge if you want to redo a page because you think you screwed up. I did one page in this book, I think 3 or 4 times, and I still hate it. And it shows that I shouldn't be thinking backwards about things and just keep going. Even though these lines look jagged too, I don't mind because almost intentionally trying to make some of it rougher than some of the other lines. Works. The natural flow of hair. This was the folds here. I'm gonna black this out. Suit. What is that? What the fuck is that? Oh, let's finish her face first. This comes out. Make sure it's round. There. Trying to get more expressive with the faces as well. When I had first worked in comics a long time ago, I didn't really work in comics. I had one backup story published with a friend. But another friend of mine who's in animation now was telling me that need to always, when they're talking, their mouth should be moving every time and have their expressions more deliberate. Instead of, too cheeseball-y posing around and stuff, which is what I did in that first issue. Everybody just has their mouth closed and they're just standing around. They're not really standing around. I mean, they're moving around the atmosphere, but they're too stiff and it looks like they're not even talking to each other. It's kind of a good learning lesson I didn't think about back then. because I was just trying to draw the coolest panel, you know. And I wish I had studied that more when I was first trying to come into comics and be more expressive and more body language. And I think some of this don't really show that style. It's too stiff, but I'll get there one day. I swear to God. Trying to get there. And my boxy hands, I need to start. I have a problem. Like, I see a lot of guys practice, and I have a problem practicing. Like, I don't like to do it. Practice by trying to do the actual page or panel that I'm working on, and that's my practice versus like drawing 10 different hands, you know, turned into different spheres or atmosphere. And maybe I should do those types of learning things, but I just don't. And that's why my hands look goofy as hell. And that line's wrong. And so if this is the case here, back that off. Here, that's wrong. This is wrong. And here, since this is just the meat, I can just draw whatever, I guess. This is just going to be something in front here. Black this out. And this will be like some ribs, maybe. I don't know. Is that what it's supposed to look like? Maybe I should look it up. Ah, crap. Whatever. I'll black this out and then come back in with a little bit of white out on this. That's like weird shapes and stuff. Well, that doesn't look good, does it? All right. Let's finish the borders on this page. So the bottom, top. I don't know if my T-square is totally off or it's just my eyeballs are off because it looks like it's, or my printer is printing sideways. Because that's quite a bit of a dip from up here down. So you can see the dip. Or the angle of the page. Maybe all my pages are just angled, all jacked up. That's great. It's going to be awesome to look at. Oh, shit. There's not enough in here. Is there? Oh, I'm gonna do this one first. Oh, I almost screwed up. The only thing I hate about doing these panels like this, inking the borders with a nib, is you gotta wait for that damn thing to dry, and it takes so long. Especially if you mess up a little bit and some of the ink goes under the ruler. It really creates some not very good time saver there. But those lines hold up well. Okay. Always check it back to see if I smeared or not. So I've smeared quite a bit on pages. I bought a pack of what do you call those big pens? Just regular ballpoint pens. A guy from Turbo Pit Fighter, I talk about him a lot. Oh, you fuck. Does some shading and stuff with the ballpoint pen. And I wanted to give it a try. And I might actually try on the 2 pages that are behind the cover. So they're basically 2 pinups. I was going to hand paint them, but I've already inked one like this with just traditional. But I might go back to it and add some Bic on top. Because I think it looks really cool. And I think it'd be really different and be a good learning experience as well. Damn. So I can go through now and add some little highlights here and there. Like say to the eyes and stuff. And to his glasses here. I know that won't show up, but okay. Here, I could probably go up this way. And usually after everything dries, I'll come back and do some more touch-ups. I feel like I'm always so much in a hurry to get through pages for some reason when I shouldn't be. It just sucks being on such a time limit to work on pages before. After work, I mean, not before. That's fucked up there. No, that's right. And that needs to be black. Darken that. And here will be something. Okay, that's it for now. And then come back later and fine tune it before I zip it. And that's it. Ha. Well, thank you. I hope it looks better when I get some tones on it. Do some cleanup work, a little bit more cleanup work, but getting there. Thanks for checking it out, dude. And I will see, I'll probably join at Omer tonight. So, see y'all later. Bye-bye.